Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, that's what was my phone. That was my phone trying to turn it down so it wouldn't get that feedback. Hey Mark, real artist, cool cat. How y'all guys doing? Oh, you guys still at work? All right, all right, acting up. Oh, really? Congratulations. Cool cat, some very important advice. Make sure you always there 1 hour in advance. Reason why, if you're going to do a long haul or anything like that, you need to get your switching orders and all your papers situated. So it's always best to go in an hour early. And if you're going to be working in the yard, doing switching or anything like that, make sure you get there an hour early so you can go through your switch list. the most important thing you need to do is make sure you get there early. I would always try to, when I was working there for the railroad, I would always try to get there 30 minutes early so I can get my switch list and go over my switch list. Always remember, when you put a spur in, before you put a spur in, make sure you figure out which direction of the train is going to be going. Is it going to go against the direction, or is it going to go with the direction? This spur right now is going with the direction, so the train is going to be going in that direction. You probably hardly ever see it goes in this direction unless it's coming here to do a spot and drop. But always remember, figure out which direction you want the train to go. Do you want to go with the flow, or you want to go against the flow? So if you're going to do a spot and drop here, and the train is going in this direction, and this is going in this direction, then the service train is probably going in this direction, in the opposite direction. So on this layout, everything here will be going in a counterclockwise direction. So if everything is going in a counterclockwise, but everything is being shoved in, then I'm pretty much going either with the direction and then against it. It just depends on which direction you want your layout to go. It can go both ways, but always remember, your service train is always going to pretty much go against the run, or against the run. So, for example, let me put it down here. Let me get a marker. Where is my marker? I don't think anybody pretty much figured this concept. And the only reason why I do this is because of what I see and what I used to do. Where's my marker? Hold on, guys. I'm trying to find my marker so I can explain this. Crap. I got 30 G markers and I can't find just one. I just had it this morning. It's just in my face too. I'm moving around so much in here and I pick up stuff and I move stuff so much. Jesus. Gosh, where's that marker? Crap. I guess we can use my marker from the board. All right. everything here is going in, is being, everything in the service area where we load, where I've shoved the train to be spotted, is going in this direction. Except down there, I have to do a backside run, and it goes in that direction. So I got trains, tank cars on the front of the engine. Here's the engine. And I got cars on the back. So I'm doing a shove and a drag. Now, so whenever I bring the train to be spotted, I'm going in this direction. Okay? So if I'm going in this direction, and then I get to shove the train in, but the non-service train is going in this direction, away from the shove, away from the service. So that means signals have to be posted somewhere along this line. Now the signals can be posted up here on the switch and down there on that switch, or they can be posted in the middle. Okay? But since I'm in a company, I don't have to worry about signals. We'll be communicating by radio, just like I did at where I used to work. We communicated by radio, and we always say, hey, are you coming down from the yard? Are you coming from the yard? Are you still in the yard? Are you in the clear? And we'll be like, yes, we're in the clear. If you need to come down, come on down. We'll stay in the clear until you come down. So we'll wait about 15, 20 minutes for them to come down the hill and come and do the service. It's always about how you want your layout to run. If you got the simple layout, let's put it over here. Say, for instance, this is your layout. This is a sample. This is a sample layout. This is your main. Okay? Your main runs in one direction. Let's say it goes counterclockwise, like before. You want your train, and this is the train that goes around on the main. It has nothing to do with the service, okay? But you got to enter track. We will call this your siding or your other main, okay? Now, depending on how you want your train to go to service the industries, say, for instance, you got an industry right here, and an industry right here, and then an industry over here, and then an industry over here. Now you got to figure out how you want your train to be served, how you want your spurs to go in. Do you want them going with the flow of the train, or do you want them going in the flow of the opposite of the train? If you got an inside main or inside siding, this track can go either or. It doesn't matter as long as you're not conflicting with your outside main or M1. This is M1. We'll call this siding M2. All right. So if you're going in this direction, then those switches have to be going here and here and then here and then here. Okay, here's the tricky switch situation. We didn't put the crossovers in. I just put the spurs in. Now here's the tricky situation. If you want your cars to go on the back side, in other words, you want to do a opposite direction shove away from the direction. In other words, if your service is going in that direction, but you got one that's going in the opposite direction, you need to put a crossover so you can do a runaround. Now you can do that runaround up here before you get to the curve, and you can do one down here, you can do one down there, do one down where. It doesn't matter how you put the crossovers in, make sure they have enough distance in that pocket, which is this right here from crossover to crossover, the pocket, so that you can put enough cars for these industries. So if you got 2 cars going here, 2 cars going here, 2 cars going here, and 2 cars going here, 2, 4, 6, 8, you need to make sure this pocket holds at least 10 cars for that spurs, for your spurs. But you got 2, 2, 2, 2. So you can do the runaround. Then whatever that's not going to be in the runaround stays on the back, stays away. So whatever you drag out, your 8 cars to go in the pocket, you pull them up, you do the runaround, and then you go into the pocket and pick them up, and then you start doing your industry run. All right. So that's something I want to explain. Not a lot of people explain that. So that's that. But anyway, back to what I was doing. Oh, okay, thank you. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but railroad companies changed the rules on where crossovers can be. Crossovers can't be in certain areas anymore. Um, so if there was a crossover where if you remember wherever that crossover was and they took it was taken out for a reason. Uh, Mainly because safety issues. Uh, if a train derail trying to go over a crossover and it's on a hot line and there's another train coming, that could be an issue. Um, uh, for the spur, it could be a number of reasons why they do that. But lately, they've been taking out crossovers in this area for the past 5 or 6 years, and we had one of the major crossovers off that came off the Dead Man's Curve about from the top of the curve to the crossover was about 6 cars from the crossover, and they took it out. So, like I said, there's a number of reasons why they're taking the crossovers out, but mainly because of safety issues. Now, the reason why I'm putting the spur in is because of the overflow of the yard. This is going to be somewhat of my staging area for everything over here. In other words, the cars that come from the wash rack will be staged over here. So whenever this is ready to be pulled, these cars that's over here will be spotted over here. That means they will have to do some switching and maneuvering to put the cars where they need to be. So that's what I'm doing. I am placing this spur in for this service of this area. And when you design your layout that's going to tell a story and that's going to make sense when you tell a story. So you have to draw out your layout and plan it out accordingly in order for it to work properly to what you want it to do. Otherwise, you're just wasting time. And then you're going to turn around and say, I don't like it. And I am one to say I do that a lot. I mean, a lot. But over time, I get bored with the same layout over a period of time, I start changing it. To me, there is no such thing as a perfect layout. Now, be mindful, I've came close to some perfect layouts. I think the last one I did was almost perfect layout because it had a little bit of everything. The only problem was the middle table was getting on my nerves. I was getting fed up with that middle table. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna work. It's gonna work perfect. It's gonna be perfect, dear. And the advice I'm gonna give everybody about dropping scenery, and I know everybody gonna say, no, that's not true. That's not true. To me, never drop scenery until you're 100% sure about your layout. Don't drop the scenery. Wait about a week or two, because something will make you want to change your mind, and when you do that, you have already dropped your scenery. So when you do your layout, don't drop the scenery until you're 100% sure that's what you want to do. You know, otherwise you're wasting a lot of money on scenery. And if you have the ability to recycle, like I have, everything is recycled on this layout. I don't throw away nothing. This track that I'm laying down is very old, but it's still good. Ah. Oh, you know I am. Of course, I'm here. Yeah, they are. Thank you. Hey, MBT, MBR, I'm sorry. I don't want that one no more. Yes, I do. What I'm doing is I'm putting these spacers in to balance out the elevation because it's doing this. And when the engine comes out, it's rocking and then it goes off track. So what I'm doing is trying to balance the elevation. All right. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's just Hey, Ron. Hey, Dan. Oh, I've got the alignment switch up there. I got so much going on up there. All right. That's not what I wanted. Oh, hell. I ran the wrong. Lord, I know I did not just do that, but I did. I just can't believe I did that, but it happens a lot on this layout. Okay, I see what you're saying. God damn it. Hold on, guys. Shit. Shit. All right, I'm getting a little perturbed right now because it's not working. The whole damn thing is not working. All right. So much for switching. I gotta work some work to do off camera because it's gonna take me a while. So I'm gonna come back. It's done because it's gonna take a while because I was trying to do some switching over here, but I can't do any switching because of what's going on up there. So I'm gonna have to fix that, and then I will be back in a little bit, guys. So let me tear up some track, and then I'll be back. All right. Bye, guys.